G'day, welcome to Maranalgo on the Canunda and Emu Flat Railway. This photo of the goods shed at Tanunda in the Barossa Valley appeared in the South Australian Railway Modelers Convention notes. Using this photo as a guide, I drew up plans that would fit the space I had available. My structures do not need to be exact, just as long as they give the impression that they could be somewhere in South Australia. To make the roof trusses, first I cut 4 rectangles of 3mm balsa, which I sandwiched together. I then shaped the balsa using a saw and sandpaper to get the correct shape for my roof trusses. The roof trusses were then glued using PVA glue to a 1.5mm piece of balsa. I then glued a piece of card from a cereal packet over the roof trusses to form the roof. Next, I glued some BGB corrugated card over the cereal box card using a glue stick. The walls were cut out of beer carton card, which is stronger and tougher than cereal box card. And again covered with the BGB corrugated card. The doors were inset 1 thickness of card. The walls were then glued together using PVA. I covered some card with stone paper, building paper from Clever Models for the platform. This is also being glued together using PVA glue. I glued the stone paper onto the card using a glue stick. Next came the vent in the roof. The vent being glued onto the roof using PVA. A bit of BGB card finishes off the roof vent. Next, I needed to make some fascias to go on the end of the building. I cut these out of some really thin card and glued them in place. I brush painted the shed using Vallejo acrylic paints. I made the platform awning. Next, I actually made it, covered it in BGB card and painted it before I attached it to the structure. I thought it would be easier to do that way. Here the awning is now glued in place. To make ventilation grills, I painted some card yellow, then drew the design for the grills on the card and cut it out. I used a Sharpie to draw the lines. I glued the ventilation grills in place on each end of the building. The handrails, I just got some scrap stuff that I had in my toolbox or junk box. They came off an old steps over the railway. The finished structure from trackside. And from roadside, which is the side that we viewed from while we were operating the layout. I hope I haven't bored you too much with this account of how I built this structure. I think it came out rather well, and certainly it would be a typical shed found in several places over the state of South Australia.